Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew Moebus. I'm our mining applications specialist, and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit on our podcast about underground haul roads and hauling underground. I'm here with Jim and Brian. These guys got tons of experience moving stuff around on surface. Today we're going to talk about mushroom land, underground and in the dark. A couple of things that hit real quick when you're underground, guys, that you guys probably don't experience a lot on surface, is there's only one lane. So now every drill that's going up and down, everybody, every tourist, every guy that's coming up and down in a pickup or a Toyota is running on that same two tracks for tires.
But you just can't make the lane wider?
Pretty expensive job. So one of the first things that's going to happen in your mine site to really help reduce your cycle times is working on your protocols and enforcing your protocols. Everybody wants to be friends with each other. What happens? We've all been on bush roads where you run in nose to nose with somebody. One guy's got to back up and all this. Underground mining, there's only one truck that's making money at any given time, and that's the one with the rocks on it. So when you got going around, the problem that happens though is that everybody's on the radio trying to figure it out, trying to lay it out, and help each other out. So your haul truck drivers, they got that natural tendency. They hear a guy coming down the ramp in his Toyota. Maybe it's a supervisor, maybe it's a manager. He'll pull off and let that Toyota go by him. Right? So enforcing these protocols where that haul truck, it takes him forever to get that thing back up to speed. Because here's another funny thing: surface grades, we talk 10 to 10 or 8 to 10%.
Yep.
Underground trucks, underground ramps are looking 12 to 15%. Think about how much harder it's going to be and how much more fuel burn you're going to do trying to get that truck back up to speed.
But the point you're bringing up here, Andrew, is not just necessarily for underground as well. Surface mining, quarry, sand and gravel operations, even just regular earth-moving construction sites. The number one protocol is always loaded vehicle has the right of way.
Yep.
So it's a great point to bring up, though.
So next thing that happens is, where do these guys pull out, and how do you pull out to let people pass?
Because it's only one lane.
Exactly. Well, usually this ends up, guys, being an afterthought. You're going down, you're making your ramp, you're having your drifts run off to go and get your ore, you're building different things out, and those end up becoming your passing bays later. So guys are pulling down old workings. A couple things that happen. One, when you watch, it's amazing how many mine sites I go to. It's so much easier to pass a utility vehicle or a man carrier because it can pull in and just nudge off to the side and fit in the opening, sort of width-wise, so to speak. Whereas when you're haul truck and you're meeting your haul trucks, which you're going to meet your haul trucks because you're going up the hill and they're coming back down the hill. Those guys have got to pull in nose first and have a long back out. One way that's going to help you with that is when you're thinking ahead, when you're building your workings in the first place, opening up the entrance, trying to curve some of those things. A lot of rock and a lot of geology, and you got to make sure it's safe. And there's a lot goes into that, and it's not a cheap thing to do. But in the long run, when you build these things, they're going to be there for years, decades even. That same little passing bay is going to get used forever. So when you think about it, in the first time you build it right the first time, you're going to end up saving yourselves, it can be, maybe it's only 30 seconds, maybe it's a minute in your haul.
So a little bit of forward planning at the beginning is going to save you umpteen hours in the end of the project.
Weeks, months, tons of hours. The other thing that happens, talking about development. When you build a road on surface, for the most part, there might be a bit of blasting, but generally speaking, you take a dozer and you knock that thing down, you hit yourself a nice consistent grade. Underground, we're drilling that and blasting it. So every 10 meters, whatever their depth or their length of their drilling and their development is a new grade. And it's set, it's blasted. There's not just rock on the bottom, there's rock at the sides, there's rock on the top. Working with your development guys, they're always trying to move first, get their meters. Working on your quality control in development makes all the difference to having that nice consistent grade later. That's another thing I see a lot of people work with. Another one, utilities. Now this is a problem you guys on surface definitely don't have. Underground, you got all kinds of stuff hanging over top of your head. So you build your tunnel, you make it, call it 5 meters tall, and you're over there. The problem is now you've got to get vent tube, electrical conduit, water, air, all this stuff coming down. So many mines I see two things happen. One, people are putting it right in the middle of their ramp. Well, where's the tallest part of a loaded haul truck?
Oh, I can take a shot at that. The middle.
Exactly, right? You get that thing nice up and peak. And the amount of time I've watched guys in loading tools patting down loads, trying to shape loads in the bed of the truck to make their way around utilities. That may be just one spot in an 8-kilometer haul that they're worried about. And it'll spend 30, 40 seconds on every truck trying to get that load shaped just right. So planning your utilities. 1, moving things to the sides and the upper corners where you can. And 2, pulling down old non-working utilities. It takes work, right? A lot of people put it up there and you see lots of rusted out pipe and stuff that's not working. Get that stuff down and done. If it's not working, get it out of the way. Then you're not going to have vehicle interactions.
Brian or Andrew, you just jumped past one I think I wanted to touch on real quickly. And that was you talking about your ramp grades and working with the development team. Can't stress enough the maintenance impact that can have with the haulers as well. Not having to shift constantly on the grade. Keeping them within a gear or if possible on the grades is invaluable. Minimizing those shifts, easier in the transmission, longer transmission life.
Well, here's what happens. It's real interesting on that. Funny you bring that up. One of the things that I see it happen, and the number again, it's one of these things that would shock you how often you come across this at a mine site. You've got, say, call it a 6-kilometer haul,
Yep.
and people are very tuned into that. I don't want to have too many shifts. I don't want to be searching. Guys, we start locking out gears. You may have a scenario on a haul where that haul truck can be pulling, 10 to 12 kilometers per hour in third gear, going up that thing for 90% of that haul. But that last 10% is a real pain. It's shifting, it's moving around. So what happens? We set the steady rule. Nobody hauls in third gear. Everybody hauls in second. So now you end up penalizing a 6-kilometer haul for 500 meters of problems spread out around that haul.
Effectively lengthening your cycle time.
So when you've got your development people, they're trying to get that round off at the end of their shift and trying to rush to get their meters, because most development guys are paid bonus by meters drilled. Is that quality of that thing can last, that 2-hour savings in development can cost you weeks and months of time worth of time over the lifespan of a mine. Maintenance, getting into maintenance of stuff, it's really funny. I was at a mine site recently where it was a very long haul. These guys were on it was taking them a 2-hour cycle. But the big thing was it was taking them as long to go up as it was, or to go down as it was to go up. All based on ground conditions. It's real tough. And again, we're coming back to that single lane thing. It's real tough to dedicate that stuff, because when that grader's on that road, it's not like a surface haul that's 3 to 4 trucks wide and you can just go around them, right? That grader's in the way, nobody's moving, or it's moving real slow. But the payback on that is massive. Being able to get that crown in there, get the water off the road, get it in there, you're going to have your road last longer if you're grading it well. Maintenance, like I said, getting back to it, goes beyond that. Utilities, cleaning out your mucking bays. Go to places a lot. Those passing bays we were talking about earlier, they get jammed full of stuff. You get in a short thing, you got to move some waste, you jam it in there. Now there's no passing bay. Now a truck's got to stop 200 meters away and wait for a minute and a half for that truck coming up the hill to come through, as opposed to the other way around, where you get that thing mucked out, he can come down another bay and keep hauling, and your exchange time is quicker. Anyhow, that's just a few quick tips. Some of that stuff is not terribly applicable on surface for you guys there, but thought I'd give you a little
Interesting,
shed a little bit of light into the dark for you.
In mushroom land.